Today is September 10th, 2024, and I am recording this a bit early today. The market closes in about 22 minutes, but unless the market does something absolutely crazy, it should close at around these levels anyway, so I don't think it really matters. But today was kind of crazy. I was actually down 1.5% and then came right back up slightly green today. And if we look at my top positions, Robinhood basically flat, but today Robinhood was actually down over 3% today, which was kind of crazy, and then it came right back up. But I have noticed this pattern a lot with Robinhood recently, where it'll dip a lot and then out of nowhere it'll just get bought right back up, and then it'll finish the day like break even or slightly green, slightly red. So I think a lot of people are buying the dip on Robinhood actually. But of course, Treasury's up a little bit, 0.7%. PayPal was down a lot today, but is only down, it was down 3%, but only down 0.8% now. And I actually went ahead and bought a little bit more PayPal earlier today when it dipped a lot. So I am up a little bit on those shares, but yeah, I was pretty happy with it, considering that PayPal went below my cost basis, which is around $69. I thought it was a great opportunity. I think PayPal is constantly improving under Alex Chriss. And I think PayPal will eventually be one of those stories where a maturing company was able to completely, well, maybe not completely reinvent itself, because at the end of the day, it's going to be PayPal still. But a new CEO coming in, new vision that may not completely change the company. It's still going to keep some aspects around, but they're investing in new areas. They're partnering with a lot of people or a lot of other companies. Most recently, they partnered with Shopify. And I think this new CEO that we have with PayPal is a much more active CEO. And of course, Tesla just being Tesla, it's up 4%. I haven't checked the news today, so I don't know why exactly it's up 4%, but honestly, 4% for Tesla is just a normal day. Honest was up about 4% today, but now it's only about 3.5%. And just to kind of give my brief outlook on some of my holdings, I do expect interest rates to come down, obviously, just like everybody else. And I think probabilities are higher that we're going to get a lot of rate cuts, simply because there's a lot of stories playing out, I think. Now, I don't want a political channel, but if Trump does get in and him and Elon Musk does the whole like cut down government agency things, whatever, and we actually do get an unemployment spike, but not an unemployment spike in the private sector, actually an unemployment spike in the public sector, right? In government agencies, that will definitely have rates coming down fast. If you think about the government as a corporation, right? If they're quote unquote trimming the fat, I'm not trying to be harsh. I know a lot of people are going to most likely lose their job, but if government quote unquote trims the fat and becomes much more efficient, the perceived risk in treasuries go down, which might push down interest rates, right? And so there's a lot of these stories playing out, especially with inflation also coming down. And so even though I have made a decent chunk of change in treasuries and I could cash out and just scoop up some other stocks, I would actually much rather just hold on to it just in case, right? Because my future price target in TLT, well, short-term price target, I have it around like 102. Now, keep in mind, I'm just a dude on the internet. You should not follow financial YouTubers and whatnot. But for myself, I am holding it until around 102, and I don't think I'm going to sell. I'm just going to kind of see where we are. And then my next price target after that is like around 115, 120. And so I still see some decent upside in treasuries for me. But once again, I don't think anybody should run out and just start buying up treasuries just because I mentioned it. And of course, if rates do end up eventually coming down, that also means trading revenues potentially could go up for Robinhood. In Robinhood, I don't think it really matters what happens with interest rates. I think Robinhood will just continue to execute no matter where interest rates go. So if rates stay high, they're still going to be milking interest. And if rates get cut, trading activity, volatility will go up. And so potentially it could make more money off of trading, make more money off of crypto. And so they're just so diversified now. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion. It doesn't really matter what happens. Robinhood will just continue improving their business. And what do I think about Honest right now at around $4? I think Honest obviously is not as good as when I was buying it, because I was buying it at around $253 ish. I have like $1,000 more worth of Honest in like my SoFi account, whatever, just to test their brokerage. So I have around 5,000 in Honest right now, and it's not a huge position, but I'm just kind of holding it and just kind of waiting it out. I think if somebody is interested in starting a position in Honest, I don't think it's the worst time in the world, because I still see a scenario where it could easily hit $6-7. But for me personally, I'm just going to be holding it. But I don't think it's a bad starting position.